Yes, Biocept sales are up 930% quarter over quarter, and analysts are projecting a huge increase for this stock. I'm really excited to share with you this $4 ticker symbol, BIOC. This one would fit in well with Cathie Wood's ARKG Innovative Genomic Revolution focus. Today, we are going to dive into the details of Biocept and if this would be a good one to help build your portfolio. I will cover the compelling aspects of this stock's unique genetic cancer tumor tests, the state of their finances, then what analysts are projecting for this stock. I'm also going to reveal the exciting filing that BIOC intends to make within the FDA in the second half of 2021 that could provide a big catalyst for this stock. So stick around for that news that I'll share later in the video. I did spend hours pouring through articles and BIOC financials to aid in a decision whether it made sense to buy more shares of this stock and if it is still a good stock to hold on to for the long term. In the past, I also spent years working with Fortune 500 CFOs and financial consulting teams to help companies determine where they were making money. Now I use this knowledge to dig into BIOC's details, but this is not financial advice and for entertainment only. In looking back at day trades I made in 2018, if I'd done a deeper analysis of stocks, I would have held on to many more of them. 77% of them would be highly profitable today. I spent just $37,000 on 7 of these trades that would now be worth $441,598. The purpose of this series is to help uncover gems like these that are better bets to make money in the long run. But do keep in mind that BIOC is a penny stock and highly volatile and risky. This is Lynn, and welcome back to 60 Perfect Ways to Wealth. So let's go and review today's hot stock. Just before we do, this is a friendly reminder that if you enjoy today's video, to punch that thumbs up button and leave a comment below. Let's take a quick look at what Biocept does. This company is a commercial stage cancer diagnostics company focused on developing tumor DNA tests. Genetic testing crossed over the USD $13 billion mark in 2019. We know that genomic testing is a big focus for continued future growth, and analyst forecasts for Biocept stock targets also reflect this. Biocept has a compelling mission, a dedication to improving outcome for cancer patients. The company develops innovative diagnostic solutions that give patients and doctors the information they need from a single blood test known as a liquid biopsy. This liquid biopsy is a big improvement and circumvents the more aggressive tissue biopsies. Here are details on Biocept CTC Test benefits. CTCs obtained through Biocept's platform can be used to characterize tumor cells and evaluate changes in protein expression with the same techniques used with tissue. The same specimen can be microscopically analyzed for DNA and protein targets. Plus, all CTC tests can be used in monitoring applications. Biocept is a tiny company with a market cap of $61 million. They did realize some good improvements in their Q1 2021 financials that we will talk about. But first, let's look at analyst targets for this stock. TipRanks lists Biocept is a moderate buy with a 12-month price target of $12, which would be a huge 164% upside for this stock. Now let's check if Biocept's recent financials show an improvement that could support this type of price target, especially since analysts rarely do a deep dive into financials and can be biased if they hold the stock. Before we look at what Biocept financial data truly reveals, let's take a quick look at numbers from FinViz. Biocept's Q1 2021 versus Q1 2020 sales are up 930% and earnings per share are up 118%. What's really great is that the E-Trade fundamental analysis shows that BIOC's EPS growth is greater than 92% of its competitors. It's also positive that BIOC has a short float of only 5.82%, but it's a poor sign that company insiders own less than 1% of this stock and institutions own only 10%. Now let's look at what the company's key financials tell us about this stock, if it's a safer investment and if it's doing well financially. We will review what the data can show us overall, how the stock is doing, comparing their Q1 2020 data to their Q1 2021 data. This data you see here is listed in thousands, so you need to add 3 zeros to get the actual number. I did some calculations to determine Biocept's core profitability that shows how well the company is converting sales to operating profits. You can see that their operating margin has improved from a negative 4.27 in 2020 to a positive 0.15 in 2021. In looking at Biocept's net margin, which indicates how much profit after related expenses is generated for every dollar in sales, Q1 2020 data indicates a net margin of negative 5.76 and for Q1 2021 a positive 0.146. Their PE ratio is NA as they were not profitable over the last year, but their price to sales ratio is 1.45. Note that a price to sales ratio between 1 and 2 is good. You can see that the gross margin, which is a measurement of the health of a company, is greatly improved from a negative 103 in 2020 to a positive 49 in 2021. Finally, let's look at the most important financial factor, as companies have many ways to manipulate financials to make them look better, but they can't manipulate the cash flow. The most important key cash flow numbers from a company is their free cash flow, which is the cash flow raised from the company's own operations minus related expenditures. On this slide, you can see a great improvement in their cash flow, which is also listed in thousands. Cash flow from Q1 2020 was a negative 5.2 million with a gradual improvement over the following year. Q1 2021 indicated a cash flow of a positive $843,000. I'm not concerned about the small slide back in Q1 from Q4 2020, as many companies experienced slower sales at the beginning of the year. Before we continue, just a reminder, if you could give this video a thumbs up in return for all the time and put into this analysis, I'd really appreciate it. Plus, while you're there, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Now, I'll give insight into the catalyst that could send the stock spiraling upward. Biocept explained in the Q1 2021 quarterly filing that in June 2020, they responded to the National Public Health COVID-19 emergency by introducing molecular testing for SARS-CoV-2, the virus responsible for COVID-19. Now for Biocept's catalyst. Biocept plans to grow their business by directly offering target selector liquid biopsy, CTC, and molecular assays to oncologists and other healthcare providers who treat patients with cancer. Biocept believes that their planned future assays, particularly those related to cerebral spinal fluid or CSF, should provide important information and clinical value to physicians. Biocept claims that their CSF are sufficiently unique in capturing tumor cells that they intend to file for U.S. Food and Drug Administration or FDA breakthrough designation in the second half of 2021. This is exciting, huh? This requested breakthrough designation and the company's improving financials were enough for me to purchase shares of the stock that appears to be at a good buy point. So let's take a quick look at Biocept's stock chart. First, a longer term chart, you'll notice that the BIOC significant IPO price of $8,400. Then a long slide down to form a low base in 2018 to the present. The current year chart shows that the stock is now barely above the low point of $4 per share. You know I always love hearing from you, so let me know if you own shares of Biocept, intend to buy the stock, or have another hot stock ticker you'd like to share. Do keep in mind that this is not a recommendation to purchase any stock, and you will need to do your own research and due diligence.